scientists Kundalini react in different manners in a human being. We cannot explain. For example, if one has to augment, that is to contract, sometimes relaxes. It's a chemical. After all, it's a chemical. How is it that by the same chemical, sometimes it augments and sometimes it relaxes? They cannot explain, and they have very frankly confessed it, that the mode of action of these chemicals in a human being cannot be explained. Alright? But they cannot go further. Why? It is so arbitrary. What guides it? How they guide it, they do not know. Of course, now, somehow or other in the awareness, it's also coming up that there is another nervous system that is guiding this. Now they are coming to this point also. They are saying this, that there is another nervous system which guides all these things. Now, you see here, is the conscious mind is halfway. And the pre-conscious mind and the subconscious mind meet at a point here. At these chakras, there are many chakras. This comes only up to a point much above the heart. And this we call as the Sushumna Nadi, Sushumna. This is the Sushumna chakra. Center one is the Sushumna chakra. Now these represent outside. Now this I am telling about the subtle things that are inside the spinal cord. All these channels are inside. Out of which these two are expressed outside, and they are called gross form. They are called as left and right sympathetic nervous system. You can see with naked eyes the left and right sympathetic nervous system. But the channels that guide or the powers that guide them are inside the spinal cord. When you have seen the Kundalini rising and pulsating, these channels will come in the spinal cord. Outside the spinal cord, you can see the chain of nerves, and you can see the parasympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic nervous system you cannot see because it is from brain, little lower to the end of the brain, you can say it comes up to and hangs in there. But its effects are up to the heart chakra, we can say. Up to the heart chakra are very much there. After that, all the chakras lie in the void, as we have shown you in the diagram. So these channels, now you see, mind is not only here. Mind is also in the spinal cord. You think that thinking is done by mind, alright? But all organs do not act according to the mind. They act according to the chakras, and these chakras control the growth deficit they have told. The chakras are subtle things inside the spinal cord. They are not the plexuses, but they are the subtle things that control those things which we can see with our naked eye. None of these Kundalini books have described. Not one has described this. Imagine the basic thing they do not know. Basic thing that there are two forms of things. One is a subtle form which is inside the spinal cord, and the gross that is outside. Can you imagine? They have written such big books, and they have not described the basic thing about Kundalini. Now you can see with your naked eyes. I will show you how the Kundalini moves. Alright. Now as you see, there is a gap here. The gap is much more. Draw it out. You can see it's a very big, much more gap. But here I've shown it in a big way because I want to show the upper part of it. Now when these two channels start working, alright, then what happens? If you start a machinery, there are certain byproducts, like some fumes. So these fumes are to be accumulated somewhere. So they float in the brain like this, like a balloon. and one from here, like a balloon. They blow. And when they join together, at that time, this bone, which is a soft bone in the childhood, becomes hard. And you develop your identity as I, Mr. God, President. You become I. And that I-ness comes to you deliberately. God has put this thing in. It's a very important thing that he's done in a human being. I'll show you that one. It's a little complicated. You don't get upset with the concept. Because as I said, to put on the switch is all right. You just press it, it works out the way it has worked in you. And you think, how can that be so easy? It's not easy. It's all built in you. It's all there. And it works because I know the job. Now, this is the brain of a man. What is the speciality of a brain of a man and an animal is that man reaches this apex, not in animals. Animals always have a flat. This apex is reached. Why? Because this is the apex which one has to breath with it. So the ego and superego, when they, like a balloon. Now I must tell you the difference between ego and superego. Some of you may not be knowing. Ego is when the mother is say nursing the child. The child is in complete joy. Then the mother removes the child from one side and puts it on the other side. Then he doesn't like it. So he comes up with his ego. Why? That's very angry. So the mother said, don't. So his superego receives it. He falls down. Ego is that by which we try to do something, by which we are aggressors, we plan for future. The same thing is the ego that comes out of the pre-conscious mind, by which we plan for future. I must do this, I am doing this. And the another is the superego in which I receive it. Oh, I should not have done it. It's wrong. The conditioning. Or some guru comes and says, all right, come and bow to me. All right. Superego. So the bowing of that is superego, asserting of that is ego. So where should man go? You might say, not that you become egoistical or you become a dormant personality, absolutely advanced. Now where do you want us to go? Like, my God has made us like that. He has made you like this, that with this mechanism, you start using your freedom and balance them so nicely in between that there is a space left and you come out. Without using all these instruments properly, your human awareness is not reached that stage where you can understand his work. For example, at the time of Christ, imagine to those fishermen, how could you talk about Kundalini? Was that possible? Even talking about Kundalini these days to such learned people is a difficult task. So in those days, to talk to the fishermen was an impossible. And those days we had only fishermen who could come to Christ. None of the college students would go to Christ at all, you see. So that was the problem. But now the awareness has come to this stage that ego and superego is balanced. And when it is balanced, there's a space in between. And then the Kundalini, which is the residual force here, that I will tell you later how it comes residual. Now here is the brain. This thing flows into this one. This one flows into this one. My drawing is the same as God has made this creation. Same my own work. Alright. So this, you see, this is the Muladhara chakra here. Chakra. And this is the Muladhara, the triangular bone in which the Kundalini is placed. Now this part of it, you see, comes inside and settles down. When the child is in the fetus stage, then only the Kundalini, or you can say this force, comes in. Now what is this force is known as Mahalakshmi force, which comes through the Sushumna. Now this is the force of evolution. This is the force of existence. And this is the force of creation. This is the one which we call as the mana in Sanskrit. This is the mana, not mind. It's a confusion between English style and English. Sanskrit. This is the mana and this one is the prana. You see? And yoga means when mana and prana meet in the center, they say yoga can be achieved. This is ha and this is tha. Ha and this is tha. This is hatha yoga. Or ha means Surya, means sun. Tha means moon. This is the sunlight and this is the moonlight. Hatha yoga. When they tell you big stories about Hatha yoga, you better get a book on Patanjali itself and read it, and don't listen to it. Now, Hatha yoga is a way of climbing up. Imagine, hanging in the air, there are two walls here. Put one foot here and one foot there and go on crossing. Again you come down. Again you come down. Then you go up like that, up to this point. From here, you get into your ego sometimes, super ego sometimes. Then sometimes by chance, with great luck. If you could go into this way, your attention, I mean this is a very hazardous. Then you penetrate through this. Alright? This is the Agya Chakra. And then you get in here and hang over here for some time. Then sometimes the grace of the mother comes in and then you may get your realization. But by doing this exercise, you are a strong person. And moreover, you have done your chivalry. So you are a great person too. But this takes, some gentleman he was telling me that he has taken 21,000 years since when he was a frog. And he still stays in the water. It's the same as John the Baptist. 21,000 years. So when you get Christ, it must have been 19,000. You see, that is what it is. Now, ours is a simple method. Alright? That is Mata Ji. Alright. See, this Kundalini is here. And she is my part. She is my own. As soon as you face me with your hands like this, through this, these are the hands, you see, hands are coming out till about this point. Your hands are small here. Through the hands, the invitation of divine vibrations flow in. They go inside. First of all, they inform Ganesha. That is the mother city. You'll be amazed if you are facing me. You cannot have any sex feelings. Try it. Yeah. It's closed. This door is closed because it's your mother city. And have some shame about it. This door is closed and Ganesha is fully established. If you try to do any such thing, then it's a very much punishing stuff. It punishes you very badly. And that's why you be careful about this gentleman, Sri Ganesh. He is one of the most dynamic as well as a very sensitive deity. Those now would teach you to pay attention to Muladhara, Chakra, and raise it towards some deity or mandala or anything, are committing sin themselves, but they are putting you into terrible sin. Spirituality has nothing to do with your sex. Nothing whatsoever. Whether you are important or potent or a girl or a woman or a man or anything, you can get realization. But if you are using your sex for such purposes, very difficult. Because that is the basic point. And then, you see, Ganesha first is to be satisfied. That's why in the Indian mythology or in the Indian life or in the Indian form, first of all, we praise Ganesha. Because we must, first of all, create holiness. He's the embodiment of holiness. He's the one who came to us as Christ himself. He is celibacy. And you who have known Christianity, why should you accept these horrible, dirty, lusty, I don't have, such words, what to use, but they are monsters, and their advice that you should use sex in the name of God. This is what this point begin with. First thing you have to do is to establish here, because this is the main person who guarantees, alright, he's the best. He's alright. This is the first certificate you must have to enter into the kingdom of God. Is Ganesha. Throughout is there. Then, but basically there. People don't like it when I tell them, but I have to tell you the truth. Whether you like it or not. You must have seen ideas about sex. Because of ruination of this chakra in the Western country, which is very difficult for Western seekers. Apart from that, these gurus have done, they themselves have jumped in. Why do you need a guru for that? After all, you have reached to the height of everything. And that's why all kinds of diseases are coming up. It is so unnatural that your body reacts against it. Impotency develops, bad relationship with everyone, and human beings become extremely sensitive. Even a slight thing you do, people feel bad. You walk this way, you feel bad. You go that way, you feel bad. On the other hand, a person becomes so shaky, he doesn't know which way to walk. If he wears this kind of a dress, will they like it? If I take like this, will they like it? All the time a person is trying to please another person. Never trying to think, well, am I pleasing myself or not? Because myself is first of all speaking. Very major part of yourself is here. Because you must look nice for other men to look at you or other women to look at you. That is the first criteria. It's shameful. If you are handsome, you are handsome. If you are not, you are not. What does it matter? You are saints and you are seeking God. He has created you. First thing is holiness and holiness and holiness. Even 100 times, 108 times is holiness that is needed in us. So establish yourself there at the holiness. And you have, most of you have had known about Christ. And even then, the way you have denied him. This is the sign of the too much of activity of this side. Too much of activity of the right hand side of the Surya Nadi is that I'm doing this, I'm doing that, we must be competent, we must do this work, we must do that work, and we must show our worth, and we must earn so much money. And if the wife is not earning, she's a useless thing, everybody laughs at her. But if she's a career girl, she's great because she's earning money. All this is due to the activity of the right hand side. This is all activity of the right hand, going beyond all limits, and you suppress this part. All imperialism, all despotic, everything comes through this part. This is the Rajasa. Rajasa means there are three moods. This is the Tamo Guna, this is the Rajo Guna, and this is the Sattva Guna. So by doing this, what happens? You press the super ego so much there is no balance, and you start assaulting your ego without knowing about it. The point about ego is that if you suffer from ego, you will never know you are suffering. People even say like that, I'm never egoistical, you see? Or they will say like that, I'm never egoistical. Hit your heart. Oh, I never boast about myself. They're like that. They say, we never want to praise you. They go on praising. They start like this. I'm not going to speak much. They speak on it. So this is what it is. There is no balance. We go on creating things. Now in this we go so mad. We forget every kind of balance that has to be. For example, now we start judging ourselves by the things we do out of proportion to the Mother Earth's productions. We start producing such a lot. And we must have machinery. Thousands of things. If you go in a house, you feel, oh God, where have you come to a junk house or something dropping from your head and you don't know where. Now all this built up a lot. So people like you came in and you said that this is all junk, throw it away, let us become hippies. So you went out to the from this end to this, from this extreme to this extreme. Now here on the super ego side, all indulgences, all this drinking, going into the subconscious, seeing hallucinations, and then also what else? Drugs, and then also living just like pigs. Even worse than that, this is self-destroying. This is destroying others, and this is self-destroying. This another style started, self-destruct. You live in such condition that the whole body becomes absolutely dead, and you talk of death all the time. And then you start using spirits also. Death. This is death and this is life. But not the consciousness is in the center. Then the Hatha Yoga means this one. In the normal way that people think of. This is the balance of both is Hatha Yoga. But normally people, what do they do? These people who are on this side, they will go to the runaway extreme of these people. You see, they don't want all this. So what they do, they go to the other extreme of this. And what is the other extreme of this? Give up materialism, give up this. And then you become a horrid personality. You are so hot-tempered, these people try to control you. See, their sex, they will not marry you, they will not face, they will drink urine. You know, they do all kinds of nonsensical things. Why should they drink urine? I can't understand. You see, they drink urine, they don't understand a simple thing, whatever is thrown away by body. Why should we drink? Our body knows better than we do. And then they do all kinds of nonsensical things also, like hanging themselves upside down, and some of them running for miles together, and some of them doing exercises of the extreme type, and they are very hot-tempered, raw, absolutely, because the sun dries them completely. The prana here, you will be surprised, acts on the heart. Because heart has to balance. So what happens? All these people suffer from a stone heart. They have a heart of a stone. They don't believe in any love business. Nothing. Wife they will not see. They will have nothing to do. Only one person who has gone this way was Buddha. But he was born long time back, as I told you, Rama and Sita. So he could do that way. And the one who is the divine personality who moves on this is the Hanuman. So Buddha came this way and settled down here. Mahavira came this way and settled down. But they forgot that they did not come this way at all. They came this way and they were absolutely tired. They were sleeping. Then suddenly they came by the same route as you all have come. Because the Kundalini is here, so how can she come this way or that way? Kundalini being here, she cannot go to the left or the right at all. When they said Hatha Yoga, what they did was to use the Kundalini. Gradually they pulled her from this side to this side, again from this side to this side, again in the center only. It has to come by Sushumna. There is no other way. Kundalini does not rise by any other way but Sushumna itself. But the reactions can be felt on these. Supposing you upset Ganesha. When he gets upset, he gets heated. Goes into complete heat. And the heat is created on both the sides. Sometimes even you will find blisters coming. People get blisters. This Rajneesh is one disciple who came to us. It's in the book Gijre. He had all over the blister. All over the blister. And then he told me, Mataji, cure me, do anything. And he gave it in writing, everything. He published in the papers. Then Rajneesh people gave him 10,000 rupees and took him back again and put him the dress. This is what it is. Is it money? I don't know what is it that makes people so much mad after money. They go to him to seek God. And then they become so materialistic that they don't mind having any trouble in the body just to advertise for it. First he gave money to some women to become naked when I'm giving lecture. So they all started, just like your manipulation of these, what you had these singers, 4 of them, who started singing first of all. Beatles. They started the same way. See, they begged and made some women drunk, and then they started singing. So these women started reacting to that. And then they gave drugs and all that. I mean, it was all done that way. The Beatles' own uncle, you see, one of them, the manager's brother, I would say, not uncle, but the manager's brother, was on my ship when I was piloting, and he told me this story. That's how they managed. And now everybody like mad, you know. It goes into everybody's head that when somebody is singing, you must go mad like that. What is the need? If there's something inside, then there is no need to go outside like that. Inside, whatever is happening should happen, not outside. They think unless until you do it in the full gusto, it will have no effect on us. So this is what it is. That is due to the overactivity of this and then the extreme movement this side. So now there are 7 channels on this side and 7 channels on this side. By these 7 channels, you are made to pass like resonance. See? You move from here to here to here to here to 7 channels. Once you go to the 7th channel, you are the last one. Then you are thrown into the hell here. Same. Here are 7 channels. You are given chances and chances and chances. But if you don't listen, then to the 7th channel, you go to the hell again. So all of them are settled down here, down to the hell. There are 7 hells. Alright, I need not tell you, but Mahavira has described him very well because he went through super ego, he went into hell, even Buddha has described him. Worst is Mahavira's description, and if you read them, for 3 days you won't eat any food. Horrible. But it is a fact. What he's told you is a fact. Now, this is the Kundalini that is going to rise from here to here. This is the gap. These are like 3 ladders. But this can only go this way. So this ladder is useless for this and this ladder is useless. But because of these ladders, they have a loop on this one and a loop from here. And these chakras can be completely destroyed if the activity on these are more. You understand now? Like this, as I told you, like this is the central point. And from here, one comes as a loop, another comes from here. Now, if they go on moving too much, they may come out like that. And they become on their own. And that is how cancer settles. Malignancy. The people who are very egoistical can also become malignant by temperament. Because they forget that they are a part and parcel of the vast being. They are just a cell in the body of that vast personality, and they cannot on their own start working. They have to relate themselves to him. But this is only possible if this Kundalini rises and comes out and enters into the subtle being which is around you. And this has to happen. There is no way out. Any religion, anything, any saint has to happen because this is the premium which sprouts the seed and which has to come up, go up and open. because as soon as they see me, they know I'm there because this is awareness. It understands things, cooperates. There's a telecommunication between your Kundalini and mine. I put my force into your Kundalini. I take it on my Kundalini and take it. This is the first Kundalini, as the Adi Kundalini, and you have the secondary Kundalini. And when they see me there, they are assured that they can come. And that's how the Kundalini comes. But this could not be done earlier because this was not completed. But when it was just to be completed, what human beings did was to press this very hard. And before I could start off this, the pressing became so hard. So now we have two extremes. We have very egoistical people on this side, or we have the other type who are destroying themselves every moment by every chance. And to help them, we have very egoistical monsters who have come from the supraconscious. Beyond this is the supraconscious, and beyond this is the collective subconscious. From that and from this. Collective supraconscious and collective subconscious, from there you are getting spirits who are entering into your psyche through your ego and superego, and they are working out for you. Through your eyes, through your nose, through your mouth, through your ears, they connected through it. Through your agya. They enter inside and go into these, and they start giving you ideas. Now, as you had asked me the question, that with these things like chanting the mantras, as I had told you before also, you say some funny name given to somebody, all right. You give that name to someone who is a devil, genius, absolutely genius evil. And that evil genius is given a name, say, of Ram. All right? You can do it. If you have no conscience, if you have no fear of God, if you are just a Rakshasa, as they call it, a monster of the worst type, you can give this name to anyone. So you give this name to someone like that. And then they tell you in your ears, call the name of Rama. You start calling the name of Rama, immediately what happens? The actual place of Rama, which is the right side of the heart chakra, Rama sleeps off there. He's so angry with you for this nonsense. That why did you go to such a horrid place? Why did you? That was their whole strategy. And they got you into their webs. Oh God, God. Thank you. He's asking me how you make it done very well. Today I'm going to tell you about the mind and its relation to our Kundalini. Don't be darkness over there. Just put your left hand towards your right hand outside it will go. You can sit that side and rest that side. That's not, you will not open it. Just you can sit that side and rest that side. That's not, you will not open it. Just anyway, Himse asked me that all of you expect to get suddenly God's realization. I wish I could give you that. Sure. But actually, you know, we have had problems. And very serious problems. And they have seen to it that the path of Kundalini is completely destroyed. So that you lose your chance of realization. Pardon. Absolutely, that's what they have. And each one of them, I find, is working on different chakras. And so if you go to 2-3 of them, then God alone can save. And even if you can, I don't. Because it's really deep. And they know their job very well. Moreover, you are so much under their obsession, you can't get out easily. When you go to them, you cannot even ask them one question, can't even talk to them. But with me, you'll be arguing that if they have given you a job of a pleader for them. And you don't realize also that you are arguing only because they are in you. Despite the fact you are realizing that this is the truth, still you go on and waste your time. I would say, first keep yourself open completely. This cannot be argued out. It cannot be with your mind. It is something of the beyond. Keep yourself open. Receive as much as you can. Get yourself all right. Understand. Don't waste your time. So many of you touched, you see, that's what I have to do with all the forces, that you touch the samsara. It works out. You all get realization. So that you get the glimpse of what is realization. And you feel the vibration to convince you that this is the truth. But I can't retain it on my own power. You have to retain it yourself on your own power. Without realization, nothing is possible. That is a fact. But to retain it, you have to work it hard. But some people, it does not require at all. Alright. They just get it and they are there. Catch it where? You kept it. I still don't understand. Kept it where? What's that? Oh, Mary. What's his name?
The rings and all that person.
No. Alright. Oh, forget it. Forget it. Forget it. It's left. It's alright. He has come. Now today I will tell you position of our mind. Now the idea of mind that we have in our mind about mind is very confused. So let us first see what is mind. How are we placed as far as the mind part is concerned? We don't have the chart, board. Maybe there's a board or something like that. How are you, Wendy? How are you? You are all right, I am. What about you? Better? Yeah? Put your right hand on your heart. Right hand on your heart. Please come for the first time. You?
He came to the first lecture at Teston Hall, which is the first prize.
Did you get to realization? Did you felt the cool breeze? He started to feel like that. They come up and I think he's there. What did you say? Yeah. It's a good paper.
I think that's some bigger ones.
Bigger one, if you can, then I will do it.
Shimon telephoned last night. Shimon telephoned last night. Shimon telephoned from Algeria.
How is it?
Very French. He'll be here on the 24th.
Very French. What does that mean? No. Huh?
Coming for 2 weeks on the 24th. We'll try and be here for the 21st. It'll be public holiday now. 21st.
That's it. Huh? You need some big papers? Now, this is the mind by which you are listening to me. Whatever I am telling you at this moment, conscious mind. Conscious mind. Every moment you are conscious. But when you listen to me, when you take it to another mind, which we call as a pre-conscious mind. Aim to the subconscious mind. Through the pre-conscious mind, you put it into the subconscious mind. Did you follow this? We receive it through our conscious mind, put it in the pre-conscious mind, receives it. This is the monk. The symbol of this is Hanuman. He receives it and puts it into your subconscious mind. Alright, this is happening throughout. Since when you were an amoeba, this has been happening. And now it's happening much more when you are absolutely in the full stage of mind development. So, now, actually the scientists, they believe that the conscious mind is on the top, then there is pre-conscious mind and there is the subconscious mind. That's what they believe in, but that is not a fact. The fact is that all this is placed back within us. This is the conscious mind, this is the pre-conscious mind, and this is the subconscious mind. In the subtle form, when they are placed in our spinal cord, there are three channels that work here. The one that is the subconscious mind is worked out through the Ida Nadi, which is called also as Mahakali channel. And this one on this side is worked out by Pingala Nadi. Which is on the right hand side. In the center, this one, pre-conscious mind, comes only up to a point. Or we can say they go down much more. Now what they do is to have a loop here and a loop here. And they come round here. And this is what forms the chakra. You understand now? So once it moves like this, it passes over its information. This pre-conscious mind passes over its information. In the chakra, it is decided what is to be stored where, what is to be done. All the decision takes place in the chakras. Now, who takes the decisions? It's the deity. Now, how can we know there is a deity? Say, for example, in the human body, anything that goes inside the human has to be thrown away. But the fetus of a child is preserved, conserved, and looked after. That's done by Ganesha at the Muladhara Chakra here. He organizes it. He arranges it. There are many other things which the scientists cannot explain. One of them is this, that they cannot explain why the two chemicals, adrenaline and acetylcholine, react in different manners in a human being. They cannot explain. For example, if one has to augment, that is to contract, sometimes relaxes. It's a chemical, after all it's a chemical. How is it that by the same chemical, sometimes it augments? You start calling the name of Rama immediately what happens? The actual place of Rama, which is the right side of the heart chakra, Rama sleeps off there. He's so angry with you for this nonsense that why did you go to such a horrid home? Why did you not use your brains fully? Why did you go to him? Why did you deny God? And why did you accept? So, Rama sleeps off. Once he sleeps off, somebody else comes in, and that is this evil genius who is called as Ram. He comes in, and once he comes in, he starts working in your right side. Now, what is it? Is juxtaposition of Rama. What was Rama? Rama was a very obedient son. First of all, he becomes extremely disobedient to his parents. Or else, maybe that you have no feelings for your children as a father. You may go into abortions without any. Some girl you will sleep with, she'll conceive, it's alright, go into abortions. No feelings as a father. No value for the life of your children. That develops with this kind of a chanting. Then he was a man known for his maryada, means for his boundaries. How far to go? How far to rule? How to look after the world? How to look after the country? He was the person who is known as Maryada Purushottama. Means highest among all the human beings. It is the ideal for its boundaries. Now, if you say a boundaries, then what about liberation? Naturally, see, liberation is nothing but abandonment. Now, there is a pilot sitting here, alright? Supposing you have to build an aeroplane. If you do not put it into certain boundaries, then when it goes high up in the air, everything will go helter-skelter, all liberated nicely. And nothing would be left out of that liberated soul. So there are certain boundaries which we have to put for ourselves as human beings with our wisdom and understanding. That was done by Rama, and that's why those who catch on the right hand side must know that this is the something lacking in your character has come to them. Perhaps it might be lacking beforehand, and might be it has been added up by this fellow, because he must have read your mind and seen that, oh, there's little bit in him, little revolt against the father and the mother. All right,